Oh yes. Good evening, my dear viewers. How are you on this fine, fine day whenever you are watching this? I am doing alright. I breezed my way through 12 Vincent Price movies. I was going to watch 13, but honestly, I've just been wanting to get these ones finished, my dear viewer, so I had to skip The Return of the Fly. If I ever get around to ranking the Fly series, I will, but honestly, I really do want to move on to something else. So, with House on Haunted Hill, this one feels like a natural conclusion. Five people are given $10,000 to a piece to be able to stay this night on the titular house, and they wonder, is it haunted or is it not? And we get to see our guests who are all weary of, like, some of them believe in superstition, other ones think that others are hysterical. These five different people. I did not recognize any of the names, except for Vincent Price, of course, and Elisha Cook Jr. And yes, he was in the Maltese Falcon. That's probably the best, where he was the Gunzel, so say what you will about that. So, this movie, it is a 1950s style horror movie, okay? There's no CGI, there's no there's no like massive jump scares. I mean, there are a couple of interesting scenes of where this ghost lady supposedly appears, but it's revealed that she's a caretaker who's blind along with her husband. So that was kind of like the closest that we'll get, because she's draped in black, which was it's a little scary when you watch it on Blu-ray, and it's almost a little after midnight. So yeah, it's what's going on here is more of a tale of revenge, and just thinking about like what one, like, you know, how these people have all their problems going on. It's like one of them is gambling, one of them is greedy, and other ones like that. Like, you know, we get them pulling up in a hearse, each one individually pulling up in a hearse, which is kind of funny. And, you know, it's like, you know, in the 50s that would have been more seen as shocking, but nowadays that would be a little bit more campy / a relic of the past. So say what you will about that, but, you know, when they come in, we get the roll call. They come and get acquainted with each other. It's fine, and we get to see this set. Yes, obviously the budget isn't the highest. I mean, this was 1959, and it still feels like it's still a little working out the kinks. I mean, Vincent Price is fine. You know, he still does a good job in this. You know, he's still always chewing the scenery, acting not over the top. I guess more refined. It's like he's coming in. You know, he's going to give them 10,000. He specifically each person 10,000. He lays out he lays the rules, and they have to follow it. But it feels, movie is fine. It's like, you know, it's not really too atmospheric. I mean, it's like maybe a couple of scenes where a person like rushes into a wall, or, you know, they see the blind caretaker or whatever, and it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's like, it's good for that 75 minutes. It's really not going to hurt that much. You're going to get your enjoyment from it. Yeah. This is directed by William Castle, who had this gimmick called the Emergo, Emergo, which was supposed to be like a certain scene, like a skeleton was supposed to appear from a vat of acid or whatever, and supposed to scare people. He was like the master of like theater gimmicks at the time, which gave a more interactive experience. Like putting, like, I think there's this movie called The Tingler where they would, where the theaters were outfitted with like a, like, was this a shaker on like the back of the chair to interact with, to help you feel more interactive with the movies and things like that. So that was, again, like here, but unfortunately, because some local boys back then, would have their slingshots, so they would shoot BBs or things from their slingshot, and ultimately this had to be canceled for it. And and obviously it's like, well, it's like way to ruin a good thing. I mean, even Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, yes, he himself has said, yeah, this thing was supposed to be here. It would scare you. It would scare the girl that you with, and then you had a good time, and you would leave home happy. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's like at 75 minutes. Yes, it is. There's stuff happening, and it's not. So, yeah. There's a skeleton, it's like towards the end where they're thinking that Price's character is going to go around and eliminate everyone. And it turns out it was the opposite, where his wife and then some other doctor or whatever was going to bill him. So they have literally a vat of acid where a fake body falls in, and then we get to see Price emerge where he's controlling a skeleton. And this skeleton does look pretty real, which, yeah, it does look a little fake. And I think they're even, like, if you look hard enough, you can even see the strings where the crew that's off the screen are dealing with everything. So that was kind of funny. I mean, this picture looks great on Blu-ray. So it's like, well, it is a picture. I mean, I wish I could say more, but it's one of those, like, this is a relic of stuff from the 1950s. Okay, maybe the music is good. It's not exactly anything exceptional, but at the same time, it creates a little ditty, I guess is the word. Not P Diddy, but just a little number that'll make you feel like this movie is fun. I mean, it's fun. It's got what, 80% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, and this movie, because of the gimmick and everything, like, hey, it inspired Alfred Hitchcock to actually sort of, like, because he was a fan of William Castle and specifically this movie, so it served as sort of an inspiration. Parts of it served as like an inspiration, I think, with like the sets and everything for Psycho. And William Castle, who also was a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, made a 1961 sequel or response, whatever, called Inhospitable or whatever it's called. I don't know, but you can definitely tell there was some. It led to some bigger and better things. So this movie is indeed a cult classic. But yeah, it's like they have the idea of like, hey, there are going to be ghosts, but ultimately there really aren't any ghosts in here, and that's fine. That was not part of the game. That was not part of the attraction, if you will. So I don't know. It's not bad. Like I said, this is more of an adult type of horror, just dealing with, like, because it's an adult horror movie without any supernatural elements. There were two remakes in 1999, and then one released like 2008 that I have not seen. Maybe I'll watch them. I heard that they were, but people say, yeah, you just keep in mind it's mixed or not good at all. So I don't know. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say about it. It's like, I don't know, just, it's black and white, not rated 75 minutes. Theatrical trailer, Vincent Price, Renaissance Mind feature it. The Art of Fear feature it, and working with Vincent Price, which I'll probably watch it sometime, but honestly, after watching 12 different movies, I'm tired. I need a break. Even though there is a third collection I do want to get, but yeah, which I'll get to in a minute. House on Haunted Hill it's fine. It's a 1950s scary movie with no ghosts, so I don't know. But anyway, there's more. How do I feel about after having seen 12 movies in the span of 8 days? That's probably a record even more than the Gamma one, so yeah. Oh, I can definitely say I've never seen any Vincent Price movies. I have, like, maybe when I was younger, my grandpa watched one, but I wouldn't remember. Maybe The Fly, that's about it. And not Return of the Fly, so, yeah. Let's see, The Pit and the Pendulum. Like I said, I'm not going to really, like, rank them all in order, but I do like to give my final thoughts. Pit and the Pendulum, Roger Corman one. Good introduction to everything. It takes a little bit of time to get going. It's gothic, atmospheric. Price is fantastic at playing one who's being traumatized and who goes off the deep end when he starts to accept his fate, like his father, especially the last 15 minutes. Last 20 minutes when he descends into madness, and the legendary scene itself that inspired many Giallo and other directors. Absolutely legendary. Let me see here, what else? The Abominable Dr. Fives was fantastic. Campy, but fantastic. All of the kills are great that are based off the Ten Commandments. Like the plagues, of course, the scorpions and the darkness and stuff like that. How he speaks, freaking really great movie. I personally believe is people know, but it is still underrated. Yeah. And then we get on to The Haunted Palace. I don't remember much of this one. I want to. Honestly, this is one of the more least memorable ones. I liked certain parts of it, but ultimately it just didn't do. Yeah, I need to maybe look at the artwork, but ultimately I just think I just didn't like it. I thought The Haunted Palace. Okay, yes, it did inspire. Okay, yeah. Now I remember this. It was alright to see the dual role of Vincent Price, and I guess the ending was pretty good, but it felt like a Universal movie that would eventually go on to influence it. The introduction was pretty similar to some of the Giallo movies. The sets were cool. I like it to a point, but ultimately, I just think it's a little bit forgettable. Let's see. After this, The Fall of the House of Usher is the definition of melodramatic. I mean, the fact that even Vincent shaved his mustache and facial hair and looked absolutely surreal, and I'm like, what the hell is he look? He looks like that without his mustache. Absolutely astonishing, I had to say. Yes, it does take a little bit to get going, but just the way how the house feels alive and is slowly cracking creates a true sense of atmosphere. Mask of the Red Death loved it. It is chaos incarnate. He plays that freaking prince that's just so over the top, and thinking that he's going to get rewarded handsomely by Satan, having the mask. Just goes around just torturing the poor people, and having the son and father perform the test with the knives was absolutely great. The ending with the 7 plagues and like 6 people remaining was not what I was expecting in the tarot cards. Ooh, that was amazing. Heck yeah, it was. Heavily enjoyed The Mask of the Red Death. Witchfinder General, aka the Conqueror Worm. Why the name was changed from Witchfinder General to Conquer Worm here in the States. I'll never know. I think that was a stupid name change. She's an absolute just scum and just an absolute bastard that Vincent Price plays. Matthew Hobson, something like that. And it's just so great. Just tonally inconsistent. It's like, is it trying to be a half horror, half historical drama? What is it? First 20 minutes are absolutely great, but it's pretty brutal for the 60s. But later decades would have something more fierce. But this was pretty fierce stuff for the 60s. God dang, 68. The Raven, freaking, is pretty good. It's, I guess, more for kid. You could show a kid this to get them into it. It's magicians. It's when you have really short stories, you have to take certain liberties somewhere. And I guess adding magical powers and getting Peter Lorre and Boris Karloff in here is a good way to add it. And also Jack Nicholson. So the ensemble here is legendary, and I have to admit that it's like this is arguably the true titans of horror that would go all. I said would span from the 1920s all the way up to I would say even The Shining. So that's pretty damn impressive if you ask me. Comedy of Terrors was freaking funny. I heavily enjoyed that. It's got that macabre sense of humor that if you understand it, you understand it. The funeral service trying to get clientele, including an immortal landowner. That was funny. Landlord. Just what they'll do. Just all the witticisms, all the comebacks and everything. Laurie's and what was it? His Boris Karloff's final film appearance. Honestly, this is a good way to go. Tomb of Lygia was good, a little bit still. I mean, I liked it to a point. Atmospheric as heck, and the most British film out of all of them. Even most of it was filmed outside in Britain. Last Man on Earth was pretty good overall. I liked it. The script was just all over the place, in my opinion. Richard Matheson did what he could. Matheson. It followed most of the story well, but it just felt like one or two. It just felt like it could have just been written a little bit better. Dr. Fives Rise Again. Kills are creative. Bryce here is still freaking great, but I don't know. It just feels like, again, because when I said there were two different script writers, they didn't collab. They just submitted two different entries. And lack of budget, because the ending was going to have boiling oil that was going to go through the multiple layers of the pyramid, and the only meat at the ending, it just didn't feel complete. And we haven't got anything since The Return of the Fly. I had to skip something somewhere. Sorry. House on Haunted Hill was fine. Reasons stated, but enjoyable. Yes, would I watch it again? Probably. So yeah. I don't know. Just normal true gentleman who liked art. An extensive great collection of art, and it was also a great fine cooking and stuff like that. He worked with truly a legendarily talented actor, I would say. He's got other movies like Theater of Blood that I want to see. The Tower of Terror and stuff from the 1940s. When he worked with Roger Corman, I would say arguably that's when. But these ones, wait until the last 20 minutes, which would take a movie that is fine otherwise and truly makes it feel legendary. A slow burn. The movie could be a little slow, but everything is so worth it there. I have to say that. And I was like, here he It's like there's no chicanery, there's no gimmicks. He's just acting either over the top, melodramatic, or comically, gleefully, and in my opinion, I think it really does make him a truly legendary actor. Now I have to say, probably one of my favorites. Yes, I'm like, hot dang, I want this. I like this. Um, he was even in the voice. What was that? Yeah, he also did The Oblong Box with Christopher Lee, and he even was the voice in, what was that, Thriller, the music video for Thriller, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, and I think his final role was in Edward Scissorhands. So, holy smokes, talk about cross-generational appeal. And there's even friends with Deep Purple, the rock band, of course. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, if you want a whole variety of like acting and everything else, and you just look at and a mustache to boot, great sets, great designs and costumes, and even being a vampire hunter on one of them, which surprised me. I'm like, yeah. You're wondering about these sets right here. Only one library in Michigan happened to have these, so I'm like, well, it's like, yeah. I said, alright, it's time to review them. This is from a Sea of Tranquility video. Thank you, Pete and Rich, for that. So that's my tribute to him. You can find these on like eBay, like the internet, for like $40 a piece. I mean, that's a freaking good deal. YouTube, whatever. There is the third collection that I want to find, and I'm probably going to watch 5 more. But then after that, I'm done outside of maybe the what was that, Theater of Blood. So I don't know. So to Vincent Price, wherever you are, my friend, empty glass. I hope that these 12 movies I revealed, that I did the most comprehensive reviews of your movies, and I hope that many more generations discover you. So if you ever want a freaking phenomenal actor, Vincent Price himself.